Welcome to our next XXL compilation, and this one's a big one. You've been asking for a way to experience the French Riviera without constantly switching videos. Well, today we're making that happen. We're taking you on a journey along the very heart of the Côte d'Azur, one of the most beautiful coastlines in the world. From the red rocks of Mandelieu-la-Napoule all the way to Menton, right on the Italian border. 8 stops, one epic stretch of coast, a tiny principality wedged in between it all. And when we're the ones taking you there, you already know what to expect. Not just the obvious sights, but plenty of little discoveries that make all the difference. Grab a coffee or a glass of rosé and settle in. This is the French Riviera, start to finish. And if you're a regular here and recognize some of this from our individual videos, welcome back. And feel free to jump straight to your favorite town using the chapters below. Here's where we're headed, from west to east. Mandelieu-la-Napoule, Cagnes, Antibes, Cagnes-sur-Mer, Nice, VILLEFRANCHE-sur-Mer, MONACO and Menton. By the end, you'll know exactly which towns are the best fit for your trip. We're starting where the Esterel mountains meet the Mediterranean, in a town most visitors simply drive through on their way to Cannes. Big mistake! Mandelieu-la-Napoule has sandy beaches, an impressive chateau, a lovely coastal trail, spectacular mimosa blooms every February, and far fewer crowds than many of its famous neighbors. Just minutes from Cannes, yet a world of its own. So what are the top 10 things to see and do in Mandelieu? Let's find out. Mandelieu is one of the places on the Côte d'Azur famous for its mimosa forests. And when they're in bloom, it's pure magic. That's why we had to put them at the top of our list. If you want to see Mandelieu covered in golden blossoms and smelling amazing, now's the time to come. February is peak season for mimosas, but you'll start seeing the first bursts of yellow in January, and they'll stick around into March, just a little more faded by then. For the best experience, head up into the hills behind Mandelieu, the Massif du Tanneron. There are plenty of trails winding through the golden forests with stunning views all the way to the sea. But be warned, you're not the only one with this idea. Of course, the trails are almost as beautiful outside of mimosa season too. And if you love a good festival, Mandelieu has its very own Mimosa Festival. It's one of the French Riviera's famous winter celebrations that welcome spring. Number 2 on our list, Mandelieu's beaches. We think they're some of the prettiest on the Côte d'Azur. They're sandy, set in beautiful bays, and some are even secluded, so they don't get too crowded in summer. Our kids basically grew up at Plage Robinson, right next to Plage du Sable d'Or. And just so you know, this is what the beaches look like in summer, from April to October. Right now though, they're in their winter mode. The sand is piled up to keep it from washing away, and winter storms have left driftwood all over the place. When we filmed this video, the sun was supposed to come out, but to our disappointment, it just didn't. At least not until late in the afternoon. So yeah, a lot of the places we're showing you today don't look as stunning as they would under a bright blue sky. But don't worry, we quickly came back the next day to grab some sunny shots, so if you notice the lighting changing throughout the video, that's why. Anyway, back to the beaches. The 3 main beach areas going from east to west are number 1, Robinson and Sable d'Or, right where the Sienne River flows into the sea. There's a volleyball court, lots of water sports in summer, and 2 great beach restaurants that stay open all year, Playa Chica and Calamia. The only downside? Small planes and helicopters take off right above you every couple of minutes, and they're not exactly quiet. Number 2, the beaches around the Château, the bigger Plage du Château and the smaller hidden Plage de la Raguette, a real insider tip. It's a bit tucked away, but super cute. And number 3, Plage de la Rague, next to the port of the same name. It's also nicely secluded under the red cliffs that hint at the nearby Esterel mountains. There's a volleyball court here and another great restaurant, Bahia Plage, which is open almost year-round. Mandelieu is all about boats, which brings us to tip number 3. Seriously, you won't find another place on the French Riviera with this many boats everywhere, mostly sailboats and smaller motorboats. There are 3 ports in total, 2 on the coast and a private one inland, tucked away along the Cagnes River. The main port, Port-la-Napoule, is right next to the Château. It's packed with boats, shipyards, nice restaurants, and plenty of stores where you can buy, charter or rent a vessel. Even in winter, this place stays lively. Then there's Port de la Rague, between Mandelieu and Haut-de-Cagnes. It's another big marina with shipyards, water activities, and of course, restaurants. One of our favorites is Le Repère, overlooking the sea. We decided to sit outside, even though the sun still wasn't showing up. But sipping a café crème outdoors in the middle of winter, we'll take it. And yeah, we could have sat inside like the ones having a full meal today. But trust us, the second the sun comes out in winter, everyone moves outside. If you've watched more of our videos, you know we've explored just about every hiking trail in the Alpes-Maritimes. And among all the famous Sentiers du Littoral, the coastal trails running along France's shores, the one in Mandelieu is definitely worth a stroll. It's scenic, super easy, and brings us to tip number 4. We're starting in La Rague, right where we just had coffee. From here, it's a simple 30-minute walk to the beaches on the other side of town. And trust us, the biggest challenge? These stairs right at the beginning. Just a few minutes in, you'll reach Plage de la Raguette. You've seen it earlier. Just stick close to the sea and you can't go wrong. Most of the path is nicely paved, with only a few sections where you'll be walking right on the sand. Next landmark, Château de la Napoule. And no, you don't have to swim around it. You'll discover it properly in the next chapter, but for now, just know there's a hidden pathway inside the ramparts with some amazing sea views. Once you've circled the chateau, you'll cross the beach next to it and continue either along the port or take the promenade one level up. And here's something we only just discovered, the final stretch of this trail. Behind the port, you cross a small bridge over another river and turn right to get back on the coastal path. It's a quiet little spot where people love soaking up the sun, with a view of the Les Islands, which actually belong to the city of Cagnes. After that, just keep going around the corner, cross another bridge, and you'll find yourself right back at the beaches we showed you earlier. And now, welcome to Château de la Napoule, our number 5. Anya and I got special access today, even though in winter the place is mostly closed to the public. Back in 1284, this was already home to a medieval fortress, destroyed and rebuilt countless times, until 1918, when American artists Henry and Marie Clouse bought what was left of it. Only 2 original towers had remained, and they spent the rest of their lives restoring and transforming the place into an artistic retreat. In 1951, Marie founded La Napoule Art Foundation, opening the chateau to artists and art lovers. To this day, thanks to the foundation, around 60 artists from all over the world come here every year to live, create, and exchange ideas. Several of Henry and Marie's descendants are still involved in keeping this unique place alive. You can visit the chateau from April to September, including its inviting living areas, Henry's sculpture-filled studio, and the stunning gardens. Check the description below for details. It's also available for weddings, and in summer, concerts and other cultural events take place here. There's a whole fleet of boats ready to take you out on the water in Mandelieu-la-Napoule, so let's dive into number 6. Whether you're up for whale and dolphin watching, or want to rent a boat yourself, license or no license, you can do it here, at least in the warmer months. And of course, there's a ferry that'll take you to some amazing spots like Sainte Marguerite Island off Cannes, Saint-Tropez, or even Monaco. This is where the ferry takes off between mid-June and mid-September, right from the spot at the far west end of the main port of La Napoule. But our favorite, a boat trip to Cannes during the Summer Pyrotechnic Festival, because watching fireworks from the sea, pretty hard to beat. As As those of you who follow us already know, we have a thing for hikes and lookout points. So our number 7 is just that, a quick trip to the peak of Saint-Père, a conical hill right in the middle of town. And as you can see from here, Mandelieu is surrounded by endless forests and the Esterel mountains. You can either walk or drive to the starting point at the base of the hill, and from there it's about a 20-minute climb through Mediterranean vegetation and past ancient ruins to reach the top. From up here, you get a stunning 360-degree view of Mandelieu and beyond, from the now snow-covered Alps in the background to the sea stretching out in front of you. And from the peak of Saint-Père, we're taking you straight to another gorgeous natural spot Mandelieu has to offer. Our number 8, the banks of the river you've seen before, the Cagnes. Of course, it's home to countless boats, but more importantly, it's the perfect spot for all kinds of outdoor activities. Along the 6 kilometers of paths on both sides of the river, you'll see people out for a stroll, jogging, walking their dogs, even rowers and motorboats gliding by. And on both sides of the Cagnes, golfers are busy perfecting their swing. In summer, the Robinson Theatre right on the riverbank comes to life, open-air cinema, concerts and shows. And by the way, if you're coming to Mandelieu by car, you'll find several large free parking lots right next to the river. We're really only showing you the La-Napoule part of Mandelieu in this video, the spot for tourists. And the same goes for the downtown area, so follow us to the center of La-Napoule for tip number 9. Coming from the sea, pass under the railway tracks to reach the old town. Not one of those medieval old towns you might expect on the French Riviera. It's newer and fairly small, but still a nice place for a stroll and a bite to eat at one of the many restaurants. And trust us, it looks much livelier when the sun's out, especially in summer. Speaking of the train station, from here you can easily hop on a train to Cannes, just minutes away, or head to Nice, Monaco, or in the other direction toward the Esterel Mountains, Marseille, or Aix-en-Provence. And here's our final tip, number 10, a little overview of the different types of accommodation. If you're looking for the perfect base to experience it all, nature, glam, and Riviera vibes, but in a way more relaxed setting than Cannes or Nice, then Mandelieu is the place for you. There are several campsites with trailers for rent if you're not bringing your own tent or camper. You'll also find private villas and apartments for vacationers. Pierre et Vacances, for example, offers a sprawling holiday village with small houses and apartments right on the river, just a short walk from the sea. And if you'd rather stay put, they've got pools, playgrounds for kids, and everything else for a laid-back stay. When it comes to hotels, Mandelieu has something for every taste and budget. Here are some of the nicest 4-star options to give you an idea. There's the Hermitage de l'Oasis, with its distinctive round towers and yellow facade. Or this iconic spot, visible from afar and right on the sea, complete with a casino and a small beach in its backyard. Looking for something fun and vibrant? Casa Rose, right by the river again, might be your vibe. Or for a modern and classy stay, check out l'Îlot du Golfe, also beautifully located along the Cagnes. While leaving the relaxed vibes of Mandelieu behind, and just a few minutes down the road, everything changes. Welcome to Cannes. This is the Riviera's glamorous side. Luxury hotels, designer boutiques, glamorous yachts, and of course the world-famous red carpet. But don't be fooled, Cannes is also home to beautiful sandy beaches, a medieval old town perched on a hill, and 2 islands just offshore that feel a million miles away. Compact enough to explore on foot, big enough to welcome the world several times a year. It's time for our top 10 things to do in Cannes. So where do we start our tour of Cannes? At La Croisette, where else? This palm and pine-lined promenade stretches along the entire seafront of central Cannes and is very much the beating heart of the city. See and be seen is absolutely the name of the game here. But honestly, it's also just a joy to walk.
the blue Mediterranean and the beach on one side, a parade of legendary luxury hotels on the other. The Carlton leading the charge, of course, but plenty of others giving it a good run for its money. And where there are luxury hotels, luxury boutiques are never far behind. At the western end of the Croisette, where the Palais des Festivals stands, the big trade fairs and congresses, especially in spring, tend to spill right out onto the beach, with giant marquees for parties and deal-making. In July and August, though, the Croisette belongs entirely to the summer crowd. Private beach clubs line up one after another here. Though I'll be honest, the restaurant rooftops do block the view of the actual beach a little. If you prefer your Croisette a little quieter, autumn and winter are your seasons. Most of the beach restaurants stay open year-round, and you'll practically have the sand to yourself. For people watching on the Croisette, which we are very much in favor of, the Armani Cafe is our spot of choice. The coffee is excellent, the setting is worth a pause all on its own. And if you're into car spotting, just as this is also very much a thing on the Croisette. Number 2 on our list takes us to where it all began, Le Suquet, Cannes' oldest neighborhood, dating all the way back to Roman times. We love coming up here because you get the best view of the entire city, and of course of the old port sitting right below. From the busy city center at the foot of the hill, head west and pick one of the little lanes winding upwards. And don't give up when you spot all those restaurants lining the way. Keep going. The climb is absolutely worth it. The view alone makes up for every step. And if walking uphill really isn't your thing, there's actually another option we'll be telling you about a little later. From up here you can see not just the Croisette and the harbor with its ongoing construction work, but further out those 2 islands just off the coast of Cannes. You'll be getting a lot closer to those very shortly. The Cannes sign is a popular selfie spot, no judgment. For culture lovers, the Musée des Explorations du Monde is right up here. And from the wall along the church square, there's another beautiful view inland and westward, all the way towards the Esterel mountains. We find a free bench, sit down and just let it all sink in for a moment. Then it's back downhill, through a little park, down to the harbor. Take your time here too. The mix of little fishing boats and enormous super yachts bobbing side by side is quite something. And there are 1 or 2 rather nice spots to take it all in here as well. Oh, and one more thing about Le Suquet. At night, the church and castle are lit up beautifully, turning the whole hilltop into a glittering beacon visible from the sea. Romantics, take note. Just a short boat ride from Cannes and a completely different world. Number 3 takes us out to sea, to one of the 2 islands just off the coast of Cannes. But first, tickets. You can usually book online, but we're going old school today and buying on the spot. One tip, the queue can get long, so build in some extra time. Missing your boat would be a shame. Both islands, Sainte Marguerite and Saint-Honorat, are served by ferry once an hour, all year round. Today we've chosen Saint-Honorat, the smaller of the 2. But as we head out, Sainte Marguerite comes into view first, and that fort you can see? That's Fort Royal, where the man in the iron mask was supposedly held prisoner for 11 years. His cell is still open to visitors today. His identity? Still unknown. Pick your favorite theory. And just behind Sainte Marguerite, there's Saint-Honorat. The crossing from the mainland takes about 20 minutes. It's windier than usual on our filming day, but nothing we can't handle. Everyone off, and just like that, we're on the island. What's wonderful is that it never gets overwhelmingly crowded here. The ferry capacity takes care of that naturally. And the moment you step off the boat, something shifts. All the noise, all the bustle of the coast, gone. Saint-Honorat is even quieter than Sainte Marguerite, and there's a very good reason for that. The island belongs to the monks. A monastery has been here since 410 AD. On the way to the monastery on the other side of the island, you pass the monks' vineyards. Yep, the cliché is real. The wines and liquors of Saint-Honorat are famous across the whole Riviera, and in autumn you can even come and help with the harvest. Today though, the grapes are still tiny. You can easily make a full day of it here if you want to swim in the most crystal clear water. There are secluded little coves all around the island. Half a day is enough if you want to walk the whole island and see everything. The absolute highlight of Saint-Honorat is the Tour Monastère, where the monks lived for a while during the Middle Ages. The tower was closed for nearly 7 years for complete renovation, and from the beginning of July this year, it's finally open again. The views from the top over the whole island, the monastery, and back to the coast are simply fantastic. We were 10 days too early, so we can show you our photos next time. Also well worth exploring, part of the monastery itself, with its beautiful bell tower. Walk through the arcaded gallery all the way to the church. I could honestly film you forever. We just peek into the church briefly. We don't want to disturb anyone. At the monastery entrance, there's now a little kiosk with snacks and drinks. Very handy. And right next door, the monks sell their wines and liquors in a small boutique. We may or may not have stocked up. On the other side of the island, not far from where the ferry docks, there's a little harbor. That's where we've set up our picnic. The view from here goes across to Sainte Marguerite, and in summer, the channel between the two islands fills up with boats, because it's such a sheltered and beautiful spot to anchor. We could stay here forever, but the ferry's calling, and we still have a lot to show you. Back on dry land, and straight to number 4. Marché Fortville is the heart of Cannes locals, not the glamorous Cannes of the Croisette, but the Cannes that actually eats. Old-timers still call it the belly of Cannes. The market opens at 7 a.m. and the best stuff is often gone by 10. Fresh fish straight off the boats, Provençal produce including zucchini flowers, fleurs de courgette, cheese, regular flowers, fruit and local snacks. And right there alongside you, the chefs from Cannes' best restaurants doing their weekly shop. The market hall is also currently under renovation. The ochre red building is over 90 years old and well overdue for a refresh. One of the vendors we spoke to tells us the first section will reopen by the end of the year, with a new look and apparently a rooftop garden. We'll believe it when we see it, but we're very much looking forward to it. From the market straight to the beach, because number 5 is all about sand. And this surprises a lot of people coming from Nice. Cannes has real sand. Fine golden sand, not the pebble beaches you find further east along the Riviera. Public beaches run all along Cannes' long coastline, completely free and very accessible. The biggest one is right next to the Palais des Festivals, at the very start of the Croisette. If you want a little more comfort, you can rent a sunbed at one of the private beach clubs. Lounger, parasol, wider surface, the works. And if you happen to be in Cannes during the film festival, the beaches are still public, whatever the paparazzi might have you believe. Less well known is the long, narrow stretch of beach west of the old harbor. Here you can walk for kilometers along the newly renovated promenade, all the way to the neighborhood of La Bocca, always right alongside the beach. After a long while, you'll reach the red rocks, the Plage des Rochers de La Bocca. That one is our insider tip for you. But for now, we're treating ourselves to a little shady break at one of the beach cafes near the harbor. Well earned, we think. And we're back, on to number 6. Cannes equals film festival equals Palais des Festivals. You'll walk past it no matter what. It sits right in the middle of the city and it's hard to miss. Locals have affectionately nicknamed it the bunker. We'll let you form your own opinion. Especially in spring and early summer, like now, the Palais hosts one trade fair after another alongside the film festival, which means there's pretty much always something being built or dismantled outside. Free access to the famous red carpet steps is therefore not always guaranteed, so don't count on it. Since 1981, film stars have been parading up those steps every May. And for almost as long, famous actors have been immortalizing themselves with handprints on the pavement around the building. Worth a look and a photo. If you want to see inside, guided tours of the Palais run weekly in summer, in English too. Definitely book ahead. And if all that culture has given you a shopping urge, number 7 is for you. Just a few steps back from the seafront, you'll find Cannes' main shopping street, Rue d'Antibes, running parallel to the Croisette, a few blocks inland. Looking for a sun hat, summer dress, or a new bathing suit? This is your street. You'll find all the usual international brands here. The smaller, more individual boutiques are tucked into the side streets branching off left and right. Those are well worth the wander too. All of it much more accessible than the grand hotel facades of the Croisette. And it's not just clothes. The Rue d'Antibes also has delis and food shops for edible souvenirs, and plenty of little finds to bring home. One street further from the sea, the Rue Hoche, is lined with cafes and restaurants one after another. So if hunger strikes, you know where to go. And speaking of restaurants, the most beautiful restaurant strip in Cannes is probably the Rue Félix Faure, right across from the harbor. Worth a stroll, even if you're not eating. Another insider tip, the cheapest espresso in town, and a genuinely Italian one at that, is at Lolo Café, just around the corner. €1. You're welcome. Number 8 is for anyone whose feet are starting to send quiet distress signals. 2 options for seeing the best of the city without taking a single step. First, the Petit Train, winding through the city center on 2 different routes, or a combination of both. If you want to get up to the Le Suquet viewpoint without the climb, choose the Suquet route. The departure point for all is the Gare Maritime, right next to the Palais des Festivals. Second option, the Palme Impériale bus, a double-decker with an open top, which means convertible views over mostly the Croisette and the seafront. Hop on at the Quai Laubeuf stop. Tickets are just €1.80, paid directly to the driver. And once you've found your way around the city, number 9 is all about timing your visit right. There's always something going on in Cannes, but here are our favorite events. First up, and completely free for everyone, the Fireworks Festival, every summer in July and August. 3 evenings in July, 3 in August, always from 10 p.m. Spectacular displays fired over the Bay of Cannes that are absolutely not to be missed. Get there early, find your spot on the sand, and enjoy. Also in summer, les plages électroniques. International DJs playing top hits while you cool your feet in the sand or the sea. Not a bad combination. In spring, Cannes brings the world's best TV series to the big screen. A film festival, but make it binge-worthy. And throughout the year, concerts, theater and ballet at the Palais des Festivals fill the calendar. Just check the program, there's almost always something worth catching. And for number 10, we're going up, because the very best view in Cannes comes with a drink in hand. If you followed all our tips today, you've absolutely earned your apéro. The Hotel Canopy, right at the harbor where the ferries to the islands depart, has a rooftop terrace that gets us every single time. Whether you're looking out over the rooftops of the city or straight ahead over the sea, you simply can't get enough of it, especially at sunset. A cocktail for Anya, a cocktail for me. We've earned it too, haven't we? One last insider tip while we enjoy the view. The JW Marriott on the Croisette has very recently opened its own rooftop restaurant. Go and test it for us and let us know what you think in the comments. Leaving the glamour of Cannes behind, we're heading just another few minutes down the coast to our next stop. Antibes sits perfectly between Cannes and Nice, and is one of those places that really has it all. A historic old town, one of the biggest marinas in Europe, the wild beauty of Cap d'Antibes, and the lively seaside atmosphere of Juan-les-Pins. More authentic, more relaxed. From ancient walls and Provençal markets to incredible coastal views, this is a place you could easily spend an entire day exploring. So let's start our top 10 best things to do where the heart of Antibes beats, in the old town. Getting lost in these narrow, winding cobblestone streets is the ultimate Antibes experience. It's a maze of pastel-colored shutters, overflowing flower boxes, and small artisan shops that look like they've been frozen in time. Even with the world watching, the city's timeless Provençal charm remains untouched and as vibrant as ever. So take your time to wander, do a little window shopping, and definitely stop for a drink or full meal on one of the many terraces, which stay open year-round, unless it's pouring rain. If you love seafood, l'Oursin in Rue de la République is a legendary local favorite, where you can see the daily catch right at the door. For something a bit more modern and chic, head to the terrace at Ferny, just opposite. Their seasonal Mediterranean dishes, like sea bass or tuna tataki, are as beautiful as the setting itself. Just a tip, most places only serve during lunch and dinner hours. The real heartbeat of the old town is the Marché Provençal. Every morning, except on Mondays, this historic covered market comes alive with the scents of lavender, fresh vegetables, and local cheeses. It's a feast for the senses. If you want to experience it like a local, get here early, before the crowds, and grab some fancy candy or even spices to take back home. The old town is the perfect starting point for your journey through Antibes, and part of that historic center is the hidden gem Le Safranier. While this residential area is technically an independent commune within the city, it feels like a secret garden. It's famous for being the most floral and picturesque quarter in Antibes. Forget the story that's behind it. What really stands out are these beautiful little alleys, where climbing plants cover the old stone walls and drape the houses in vibrant greens and pops of color. It's incredibly quiet and peaceful here, the ultimate spot for those postcard-perfect photos. So pay attention to the details, because honestly, every corner feels like a movie set. Anya and I treated ourselves to a little break at Place du Safranier, at Lilian-Bonnefoy's incredible patisserie. Just look at these intricately decorated little masterpieces. We simply couldn't resist. Paired with a coffee on the shaded terrace, it's the kind of place where you easily lose track of time. But hey, there are worse things in life, right? Just a few steps from the Safranier district and the market, you'll find the iconic Château Grimaldi, which now houses the Picasso Museum. In 1946, Pablo Picasso used this very castle as his studio. He adored the light of Antibes and left dozens of his works to the city. 20 years later, the castle became the first ever museum dedicated to the artist. Inside, you can feel that creative energy in every room, even though it's not all about Picasso. You'll also find pieces by Nicolas de Stael, Hans Hartung, Anna Eva Bergman, and many more. It's actually a great mix of major art trends from the 20th and early 21st century, with something new to discover around every corner. But the real showstopper is probably the outdoor sculpture terrace. It offers one of the most beautiful views over the Mediterranean, framed by striking modern art. Even if you aren't a huge art buff, standing here on the edge of the ancient stone walls, looking out at the sea, is a moment you won't forget. Just a heads up, during peak season, the line out front can get pretty massive. If you're visiting in the middle of summer, your best bet is to come either early in the morning or later in the afternoon to beat the crowds. Now let's head down to the ramparts, those historic seawalls that truly define the face of Antibes. We already caught a glimpse of them from the museum terrace, but they deserve a closer look. Today, there's so much more than just old seawalls. They're the perfect stage for a scenic stroll between the historic heart of the town and the crashing waves below. And the best part is, they've recently become completely car-free. Most of what you see today was designed by the legendary military engineer Vauban to protect the city centuries ago. Walking along the Promenade Amiral de Grasse, you get this incredible perspective of Antibes, ancient stone on one side and the vast blue Mediterranean on the other. And as you reach the end of the walls towards the port, keep an eye out for the giant Nomade statue, that massive white figure made of letters looking out to sea. It's the perfect landmark to bridge the gap between the old town and the modern harbor where we're heading next. Now let's head over to where the big boats live. Leaving the old world behind, we step into Port Vauban. This isn't just any harbor, it's the largest marina in Europe with over 1,500 berths. Before we look closer at the glitz, let's talk about the soul of this place. If you come here in the morning, right by the edge of the old seawalls, you'll find the local fishermen selling their fresh catch. It's as authentic as it gets, and a great reminder of Antibes' roots. Just a few steps further, the scale changes completely at the Quai des Milliardaires, or Billionaires Quay. This is where the world's largest super yachts dock, floating palaces that make everything else look tiny. For the best perspective of this massive contrast, hop on the giant Ferris wheel on the Esplanade. It's usually parked here most of the year, and as you can tell from our footage, we took a ride during the holiday season. But no matter what time of year you go, it gives you a bird's eye view of the historic fort, the old town, and all those gleaming masts below. Just a heads up, it does move occasionally for special events, so keep your fingers crossed that it's there when you visit.
Whether the wheel is there or not, the massive fortress guarding the other side of the harbor definitely isn't going anywhere. Our number 6, the Fort Carré, a 16th century masterpiece, is famous for its unique star shape and its role in protecting the border for centuries. Back then, Antibes was the very edge of the Kingdom of France, and the fort stood as the last line of defense against the neighboring county of Nice. Walking up to the massive building takes you through a beautiful protected park that feels worlds away from the busy harbor. There's even a great coastal path wrapping around the fort that's worth exploring. When we arrived at the fort, we found out that a guided tour was just about to start. It's actually included in the ticket price and available in English upon request, so of course we jumped right in. And once again we realized how much more interesting a place becomes when you get some insider background info. For example, we learned that the legendary architect Vauban actually had almost nothing to do with building this fort, but he certainly had an opinion on it. He famously called it one of the worst forts he'd ever seen, mainly because it's set way too high, making it a far too easy target for any enemy to spot. Once you reach the top, the ramparts offer the most breathtaking views. From here you can see the entire coastline, the snowy Alps, and of course look right back at the old town where we just came from. It's arguably the best lookout point in the city, and if the walls look familiar to you, you might recognize them from the James Bond classic Never Say Never Again. After all that history, it's time to kick off our shoes with number 7, the best beaches. What makes Antibes so special is that, unlike the pebbly shores of Nice, you'll find plenty of soft, golden sand here. So check out our favorite beaches. If you want to stay close to the action, Plage de la Gravette is tucked right behind the harbor walls, a hidden oasis in the heart of the city. For that iconic view, head over to Plage du Ponteil. It's the perfect spot to relax while looking back at the skyline of the old town. Plage de la Garoupe on the Cap d'Antibes is an absolute dream, famous for its crystal clear water. It's actually undergoing a major renovation right now, but it should be back to its full glory very soon. If you're looking for something more dramatic, the Baie des Milliardaires, the southern tip of the Cap, is as spectacular as it gets. In the summer, you can even spot some pretty daring cliff jumpers here. But our secret favorite has to be Plage des Ondes. With its iconic stone tower and a stunning view towards Cannes, it's the absolute perfect spot for a sunset picnic. And if you're looking for a bit more vibe and luxury, the sandy stretches of Juan-les-Pins are where you want to be. So whether you want to sunbathe, take a dip, or just enjoy a sunset drink, Antibes definitely has a beach with your name on it. Speaking of Plage de la Garoupe, which we showed you a minute ago, this is also the starting point for one of the most stunning walks you can take on the entire Riviera, the Sentier du Littoral. This coastal path winds its way right along the edge of the Cap d'Antibes. It's a narrow stone trail that takes you past hidden coves, dramatic white limestone cliffs, and some of the most exclusive estates in the world, hidden behind high walls and lush gardens. It takes about 90 minutes to 2 hours to complete the 5-kilometer loop, and every single turn offers a new, breathtaking view of the turquoise sea. It's the best way to see the wild side of the Cape that you just can't reach by car. Make sure to wear decent shoes though, it can get a bit rocky. After exploring the rugged coastline at sea level, it's time to head uphill for a change of perspective at number 9, Garoupe Hill. The undisputed star up here, the highest point of Cap d'Antibes, is the lighthouse. A wooden predecessor of the current tower was mentioned in maritime charts as far back as the 16th century. A later version from 1837 was destroyed during World War II, leading to the inauguration of the lighthouse you see today in 1948. It's exactly 116 steps to the top, bringing you to a total of 103 meters above sea level. And let us tell you, the view is fantastic. You can see the Pre-Alp on the horizon, the old town of Antibes with its harbor, and the entire stretch of the Cap below you. Looking west, you'll spot the islands of Cannes and the red rocks of the Esterel Massif. To give you an idea of the scale, on a clear day, the view reaches all the way from Cap Camarat near Saint-Tropez in the west to the Italian coast in the east. The lighthouse's powerful beam, with a range of approximately 60 kilometers, makes it one of the most powerful on the Mediterranean coast, emitting 2 flashes every 10 seconds.
The lighthouse is still fully operational, and after being closed for years, it only reopened to the public about 3 years ago. Best of all, admission is free. And here's an extra tip. The view from the square right in front of the neighboring Chapelle de la Garoupe is also great. Even better, on a sunny day you can grab a table in the shade of the trees at the little bistro there. They serve simple, typical local dishes, perfect for a relaxed lunch while letting your eyes wander across the horizon. For our final stop, we're heading to the vibrant heart of the local holiday scene, Juan-les-Pins. This is the city's lively tourist hub, famous for its long golden sandy beaches, chic boutiques, and grand hotels. If you're looking for the classic Riviera lifestyle where you can enjoy a cocktail or a delicious dinner with your feet in the sand, this is exactly where you want to be. This part of town is also world-renowned for its legendary festival, Jazz à Juan, where the biggest names in music have performed under pine trees for decades. You can always feel that soulful, artistic energy in the air. And for a real taste of the roaring 20s, you have to stop by the iconic Hôtel Belle-Rive. It's the former home of F. Scott Fitzgerald, and walking into the bar feels like stepping straight into the Great Gatsby. So whether you're here for the glitz, the history, or the nightlife, Juan-les-Pins is the perfect high note to end your Antibes adventure. If you've been enjoying our videos, don't forget that we've created a complete written travel guide for the French Riviera. It's a downloadable PDF for just $15.90, packed with our favorite towns, beaches, restaurants, viewpoints, and hidden gems, with direct links to our videos, so everything we talk about comes to life in moving image. You can scan the QR code on screen or find the link directly in the description below. Moving further along the coast, we're arriving in Cagnes-sur-Mer, a town with two completely different personalities and plenty of surprises waiting to be discovered. It sits just west of Nice, between the airport and Antibes. Down by the sea, you'll find Haut-de-Cagnes, the old fishing village turned seaside district. Up on the hill, the medieval village of Haut-de-Cagnes feels like a completely different world. Alright, let's go see why Cagnes deserves a spot on your Riviera list. It's just after 10 on a sunny November morning, and Anya and I thought we'd start by taking you to Haut-de-Cagnes to soak up a bit of sun. There's this tiny little port at the very eastern end of the promenade, Port du Croc. On one side, you've got the local sailing school, sitting right on the pebbly beach that'll probably remind you of Nice. And the actual port, just next to the sailing school, is where the fishermen bring in their daily catch, fix their nets, and fuss over their boats after an early morning out at sea. And well, if this makes you think fresh fish, you're absolutely right. Just across from the port, at the Halles aux Poissons, you can buy whatever ended up in the fishermen's nets that day, every morning, all year round, except Mondays. And if you don't feel like cooking, come by on a weekend or a bank holiday. From 11 to 1:30, you can try their freshly fried fish with homemade panis, a Provençal specialty made from chickpea flour, kind of the local version of British fish and chips. We definitely want to come back and try that. Meanwhile, we're ready for a quick late breakfast, and literally just a few steps further west, along the long stretch of promenade that's one of Cagnes' best features, we stumble upon this cute little beach shack called Poisson Bulle. They've got pretty much everything you could want, from breakfast to lunch, every day from 8:30 to 5 p.m., except Tuesdays or when the weather's really bad, as Jean-Christophe, the owner who opened the place with his wife just last year, tells us.
Des collinots, et donc tous les jours, tous les midis on les appelle, on leur dit c'est quoi la pêche, et en fonction on va chercher le poisson, là on va aller le chercher et on le servira à midi.
For lunch, they serve fresh fish straight from the port, which definitely sounds tempting, but it's a bit early for us today, so we go for coffee and pastries instead. God, it's so nice and warm in the sun. We could honestly stay here forever. And it's so fun just people watching. Some are even swimming. That big building behind them is Marina Baie des Anges, by the way, the one you always spot when you're flying in or out of Nice. others are out on the water too, with or without an engine. And it's absolutely the perfect time of year to just relax on the beach. So yeah, we would have loved to stay a little longer, but there's so much more to see. Time to stroll along the promenade. There are 3.5 kilometers of this paved stretch, and if you don't feel like walking, you can always rent a bike instead, and even cycle all the way to Antibes or Nice, like we mentioned earlier. Cagnes-sur-Mer is such a great base for bike rides along the coast. What really makes this town stand out compared to some of its neighbors is its local vibe and the much slower pace compared to Nice or Cannes. And as you've probably guessed by now, it has a great seafood scene around Haut-de-Cagnes, which used to be a fisherman's village. And then there's ice cream, of course.
Let's go and see Patrick. We used to come and get ice cream here when the kids were younger.
Patrick makes some of the best ice cream you can find on the Côte d'Azur. Don't believe us? Well, go and try it for yourself. Now follow us on a quick little detour to a parallel road just a few steps inland, the Allée des Villas Fleuries, which literally means alley of flowered villas, as you could probably tell. These cute little houses were built for fishermen back in 1928, one of the residents told us. It's really sweet how everyone living here today has added their own personal touch and decorations. Also, take a bit of time to wander around this neighborhood, just behind the yellow chapel you saw earlier. It's so calm and peaceful, with colorful houses and flowers everywhere, and locals soaking up the sun. Well, at least in November, it's mostly the locals. Alright, let's head over to the very western end of Cagnes Promenade, just across from the Hippodrome. This is where there is even more space for all kinds of sports. And
If ever you come to the Côte d'Azur with your dog, over there is a beach for dogs, one of the very few ones that are around here.
And if you'd rather take things slow, we've got just the thing for you. We grabbed a rickshaw from Rosalia's right on the promenade and went for a fun little ride. They've got quite a big fleet of these cute vehicles, and they're super easy to pedal along the seafront. Definitely something we can recommend. And if you're into this kind of ride, just saying, over in San Remo across the border, you can go for kilometers and kilometers on one of these. Anya and I actually did that last year. But for now, it's time for our next stop. We're heading up to the old town, hidden just behind those trees. And isn't it just stunning? With the ancient Château Grimaldi dating back to the 1300s overlooking it all. So let's go explore. Be prepared to climb a little though. There's no driving once you've passed through the gate in the old city wall. We entered through the Porte de Saint-Paul, which is at the back of the old town coming up from the sea. From here you get these magnificent views of the hinterland, the Préalpes, gently rising until they become the real Alps not far from here. Once you're inside the maze of steep, winding medieval streets, just go with the flow. Take your time, look out for the little details, and enjoy the unexpected views that suddenly open up around the corners. It's just so pretty up here. Now we're reaching the highest part of the old town, the square right next to the Château, called, surprise, Place du Château. It's mostly in the shade now, and it's not even 3:30 in the afternoon, but hey, it's November. Still warm enough to sit outside, play a round of pétanque, and take in those views one more time. This square is perfect for breakfast or dinner in summer and for lunch or a quick coffee in the cooler months. And if you feel like stepping inside the Château, go for it. It now belongs to the town and houses an olive museum, portraits of French singer Suzy Solidor, and these beautifully painted Baroque ceilings. We keep wandering a bit further and finally end up at that picture-perfect spot you've probably seen on postcards and everywhere else. That's it for the Old Town. And before we take you to our final stop, here's a quick insider tip. If you're in the mood for some shopping, the two best malls on the Côte d'Azur are right here. One in Cagnes-sur-Mer and the other one in the neighboring town of Saint-Laurent-du-Var. Now let's meet Renoir, or rather explore the beautiful estate where he spent the last 12 years of his life. He settled here at L'Écolette in 1907 in a charming house he had built for his family. Since 1960, it's been open to the public as a museum. Pierre-Auguste Renoir, of course, was one of the most famous Impressionist painters of all time. Born in 1841 in central France, he became known for his vibrant use of color and his love for capturing everyday life and joyful moments, often painting people, landscapes, and gardens just like this one. And wow, Renoir's garden is stunning! Rows and rows of ancient olive trees, a few tall cypresses, and little daisies everywhere. Anya and I couldn't get enough of the views. Looking west, you catch glimpses of the Old Town. And to the south, the deep blue sea stretches all the way to the horizon. Absolutely breathtaking. Then there's his workshop, an exact replica rebuilt a few years ago. Stepping inside, you can almost picture Renoir at work, brush in hand, capturing light and color, just as he did over a century ago. There's also a small interactive exhibition inside, which makes it even more fun to explore. And the main house? Yeah, we'll have to come back for that one. They were closing just as we wanted to enter. From what we've heard, it's full of personal touches and makes you feel like you're stepping right into Renoir's life with his furniture, painting tools, and of course, several original works by the master himself. By the way, every Sunday at 2 p.m. there's a guided tour in English, and the museum is open every day except Tuesday. And now we've arrived at the heart of the French Riviera, Nice. Get ready for a top 10 things to do in the biggest city on our journey. When you visit the capital of the French Riviera, there are a few things you simply can't miss. But our list goes beyond the famous postcard spots. We've mixed classics with some of our own favorite discoveries, from beautiful viewpoints and historic streets to places where you can experience the real Riviera lifestyle. Because Nice isn't just about ticking off landmarks, it's about slowing down, wandering, eating well, and enjoying the atmosphere that makes this city so special. Grab your sunnies and let's start with the true Riviera classic, Nice's Promenade des Anglais. It's hands down one of the most iconic waterfront walks in the world. Originally built in the 19th century for English aristocrats. Not bad, right? When the sun is shining, and it usually is, you'll be blown away by the dazzling colors of the sea and those unmistakable Mediterranean vibes. The prom, as the locals call it, is always buzzing. People strolling along, enjoying the soft breeze, watching seagulls, or just watching people. Others are cycling, jogging, zipping by on scooters, or hanging out in cafes. Best way to soak it all in? Find one of those famous blue chairs, sit back, and just take in the view. Now, our pictures are from a quiet weekday in early March, so just imagine what this 5-kilometer stretch between the airport and the Old Town looks like on a summer weekend. Nice's historical center, with its maze of pastel streets and Baroque architecture, is a total gem and a dream to get lost in. But really, you'll never feel completely lost. You can always find your way back to the sea or the lush Promenade du Paillon, which, along with Castle Hill, beautifully frame this compact area. Imagine charming 5 or 6-story medieval houses with an Italian vibe, painted in shades of yellow, red or ochre, lining narrow streets that offer a cool escape from the summer heat. It's fun to wander the lanes and check out the quirky boutiques for unique souvenirs. You'll also find cozy cafes, restaurants and fast food spots serving local specialties like soca, those delicious chickpea pancakes. And when night falls, the area comes alive with bars and clubs. During daytime, don't miss the adorable little squares, like the one by the courthouse or Place Rossetti, home to the famous Finocchio ice cream shop with its crazy flavors. Of course, the crown jewel is Coursalea, where every morning until about 1 p.m., the bustling flower market is joined by stalls selling fresh fruit, veggies, and all sorts of souvenirs, except on Mondays, when antiques take center stage. To truly grasp Nice's layout, with the Baie des Anges stretching out before you and the maritime Alps looming behind the city, you simply have to climb Castle Hill. It's a real treat to take in different panoramas of the city below. You can opt for the free elevator if you'd rather skip the stairs, but here's our tip. Start from an old town entrance and meander your way uphill. Every step reveals stunning views, until you reach 2 cemeteries at the northern end, the communal one and a smaller Jewish cemetery, featuring an impressive wall honoring those deported from Nice during World War II. Several celebrities are laid to rest here. Next, we head over to the famous waterfall, a spot you can catch a glimpse of from afar. Et voilà! This is a perfect place for photos and breathtaking views. From the top of the waterfall, you'll catch the greatest vista of Nice. Then, from the other side of Castle Hill, after passing the ruins of an 11th century military citadel and an ancient cathedral, right at the very spot where Nice was founded, now a park with a huge playground, you'll catch sight of the port of Nice. In all, there are at least 6 different lookout points up here, and each one is totally worth a stop. Whether you're in Nice during summer, winter, or anywhere in between, you'll want to hit up the famous pebbled beach. No matter the season, you'll always find people enjoying this never-ending stretch. You can take a dip year-round if you're feeling brave. Relax and soak up the sun, dive into a good book, catch a nap, or even enjoy a picnic. And if you're into a bit of zen, why not do some yoga? Or take your dog for a stroll in the off-season. From April to October, the dozen or so private beaches roll out sunbeds for a more comfortable sunbathing experience. Expect to spend around €30 a day for a deck chair. But what if you're not into the pebbles, or you're looking for a cozier vibe? Then we've got a great alternative. Head over to the other side of Nice's port and find your perfect spot along Boulevard Franck-Pilatte. Who would have guessed that this side of Nice has its totally own charm, with no pebbles in sight? Want to see more of the city without all the walking? Then how about hopping on the red hop-on hop-off bus? It starts near the Opera on the Promenade at 99 Quai des États-Unis, taking you past Nice's top sights, all the way to VILLEFRANCHE-sur-Mer, with stunning views over Cap Ferrat along the route. You can jump off at any of its 11 stops and catch it again about an hour later. The round trip takes roughly 60 minutes. And if you're up for another fun ride, check out the electric tourist train. It starts just a few steps down the promenade in front of Jardin Albert Ier and whisks you on a 45-minute tour through the city, including a trip up to the top of Castle Hill. You can grab your tickets online or right at the departure spot. You can also rent a bike to get around. Just look out for the green and blue ones from 2 different companies scattered around the city. Or head to a shop that'll set you up with a fully prepped ride. Or how about a Segway for an extra fun tour of Nice? There are plenty of tours and packages available. Even after all these years on the French Riviera, Anya and I are still blown away by how you can grab lunch on the beach almost all year round. Sure, a few weeks at the end of the year see most of the pebbleside restaurants close up, but by January, some are back in action. So for a truly special lunch on a sunny day, nothing beats dining right by the sea. We decided to check out Blue Beach, right opposite the Negresco Hotel, where the staff are super friendly and main dishes start at around 20 euros, so they are not much pricier than any other decent restaurant in town. Keep in mind, prices vary between the different beach spots, so check the menus posted near the entrances before you head in. We kicked things off with a cool aperitif, a Blue Beach special with blue curacao and vodka, while soaking in the perfect view of the sea. For lunch, Anya enjoyed a classic salade niçoise, the healthy and tasty local specialty that's made its way around the world, and I treated myself to linguine au saumon. And once we finished, we could barely get moving. This is a spot where you could easily spend the whole afternoon. Before we share more insider tips, here's a classic that shows up in every Nice guide, the Russian Orthodox Cathedral, a surprising nod to the Russian influence on the French Riviera. You'll find Cathédrale Saint-Nicolas just a short walk from Nice's main train station. As the second largest Eastern Orthodox cathedral in Western Europe, this stunning architectural gem first opened in 1912 for Nice's Russian community. While the exterior is truly eye-catching, you definitely need to step inside to admire its beautiful walls and the incredible art collection. And don't miss the small museum in the crypt, where you can learn all about the cathedral's history and its main benefactor, Emperor Nicholas II, who later passed away on the French Riviera. The port you saw from Castle Hill is an area we definitely recommend exploring too. Not only is it beautiful, but there's plenty to do. You could hop on a boat trip. Between April and October, there are daily cruises, except Mondays, from here to VILLEFRANCHE-sur-Mer and back. Later in the season, the same company even takes you to Cannes or Saint-Tropez. And if you're feeling adventurous, why not rent a small motorboat yourself and be your own captain? You don't need a boating license. They'll give you all the tips you need to safely cruise along the stunning coastline. If you want to cross to the other side of the port, there's a free shuttle boat, Le Passagier, that operates in summer. This small ferry, which carries just a handful of passengers at a time, is an actual pointu, one of the traditional fishing boats that once lined the French Riviera. Definitely worth a try. On this side of the port, you'll find some fantastic restaurants, including the famous Plongeoir, the Yachts Club restaurant, open to everyone, and the gorgeous terrace at the St. Paul Hotel. Plus, the quieter, lesser-known beaches are just around the corner. Whether you're here for breakfast, a daytime stroll, dinner, or cocktails at night, the Port District has transformed in recent years, now buzzing with trendy spots right on the waterfront and in the surrounding streets, especially to the north. Nice is home to plenty of fantastic museums. Tough choice. The most visited one in the region is the Chagall Museum, but there are so many more worth exploring. Take the Matisse Museum, for example, an art institution set in a stunning red 17th century villa in the charming Cimier neighborhood. Or the Asian Arts Museum near the airport, a true architectural gem. Then there's the Masséna Museum, packed with local history inside an impressive Belle Époque villa. For something different, check out Illusion Nice, a fun space dedicated to optical illusions. And photography lovers will enjoy the Museum of Photography, right next to the flower market in the old town. That was just a glimpse. Watch our dedicated video for more. And while we're at it, if you love arts and culture, why not spend an evening at Nice's beautiful opera house? And now that we've kept you busy, it's time to slow down and enjoy one of the things the south of France, and especially Nice, does best: the laid-back art of savoir-vivre. And what better way to do that than with an apéro, as the locals call it, with a view. We've brought you to one of the several rooftop terraces scattered across the city. The brand new Taulissa, perched atop the 5-star Le Victoria Hotel in the heart of Nice. Granted, the drinks aren't cheap, even the coffee we eventually opted for. The setting is worth every cent. Many of Nice's grand hotels have rooftop terraces open to the public, so don't be shy, go ahead and explore. Now we're leaving the big city vibes behind. Our next stop is the smallest town on this journey, and quite possibly the prettiest, VILLEFRANCHE-sur-Mer. With its colorful waterfront, one of the Riviera's most beautiful bays, and a wonderfully relaxed atmosphere, VILLEFRANCHE-sur-Mer is the perfect escape from the bigger Riviera hotspots. Today, we're spending the day here, starting over in Nice, and along the way, we'll show you a few ideas that many visitors often overlook. Anne and I are kicking off our day at the port of Nice, super easy to get to with tramline 2. And what better way to start a sunny morning than grabbing a quick breakfast right here. So we finally get to show you the Boulangerie Maritime, a spot we've been meaning to try for ages. It's just a few steps behind the port. You'll find the exact location linked in the description below. And also, at the end of this video, we'll show you a handy little map so you can follow our exact route. So we each grabbed the coffee and a pastry, but you could totally go for something heartier too. There's no seating inside, but that's no big deal. With the kind of weather we get here in Nice, it's almost always perfect for sitting outdoors.
It was only a small breakfast because we're going to have lunch in Villefranche.
Right, time to hit the road. On the way back to the port, we're passing this cool street art by local artist Moya and Mela's Patisserie, which we already showed you in our video about the port district. And seriously, how gorgeous is Nice's port? It's calm, it's quiet, it's basically a living postcard. Take your time strolling along the waterfront, heading east past those colorful little wooden fishing boats called pointus. Fun fact, they were named that because both ends of the boat come to a point. We've now reached the eastern tip of the port at Boulevard Franck-Pilote. If you look across to the other side, that's where the small ferries leave for Cannes, Monaco, Saint-Tropez, but also to Villefranche-sur-Mer. So if you'd rather skip the walk and see our destination from the water, you can hop on one of those boats. Though, just so you know, you don't get off in Villefranche. We're sticking to our plan and doing this one on foot. And trust us, it's a gorgeous walk. Pretty soon you'll pass the first little beach, the iconic Le Plongeoir restaurant, and a few more tiny hidden beaches before hitting the actual coastal path.
Behind us is a really cool beach. We've actually done a video about it already, so finish watching this video and then watch Hidden Beaches.
A few minutes down the road at Jardin Félix Reynaud, you'll find the start of the Sentier du Littoral, the path that takes you all the way to Villefranche-sur-Mer. It's super easy to spot, just follow the yellow and red stripes painted along the way. And after just a few steps, you're right down at sea level. And that's pretty much where you'll stay for most of the hike, as you circle around the big hill next to us, Montbourron. It's about a 6-kilometer walk one way, depending on where you start, and should take around 2 hours at a relaxed pace. After rounding Cap de Nice, you'll spot Palais Metterlinck ahead. And not long after, it's time to leave sea level for a bit.
this coastal path is a bit tricky. Don't go this way. It's a dead end. You have to watch out for this sign, and then, yes, you have to face the steep stairs. Let's go.
And that was just the first flight. There's more to come. Quick tip, avoid doing this hike in July or August unless it's for sunrise or sunset. It's not super difficult if you're wearing proper shoes, but this part definitely had us working up a sweat. Once you're up at street level, the famous Basse Corniche, follow the road for about 800 meters.
After we walked along the road several hundred meters, we finally go down to sea level.
Alright, same procedure as before, but this time we're heading down the stairs. While the path earlier was nicely paved, this last stretch is a little trickier. Pretty soon we're greeted by the stunning peninsula of Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat, marking the entrance to the famous Bay of Villefranche. And, well, something that feels totally out of place. Anya and I need to pick up the pace. We've got a lunch reservation to catch. Before we actually reach town, we arrive at the little port, and that's why we've booked a table at La Corderie. Several friends recommended this spot, so let's find out what it's all about. The terrace under that big plane tree is absolute heaven, even though it's right by the road. Luckily, hardly any cars come through here. Quick look at the menu, and we go for a refreshing glass of rosé and a fizzy strawberry aperitif. And before we can even take a sip, our food's already here. Cheers to an amazing walk and to everything this day still has in store for us. Lunch looks fantastic. Fish and chips local style for Anya, grilled sardines with chickpea fries, and for me, homemade ravioli filled with ricotta and spinach. So good. Time to get moving again. But wait.
If you want to do the same walk as we did today, we really recommend you to wear proper shoes like trainers, not sandals like me today.
And now we're finally getting closer to the village. We actually wanted to keep following the path along the water, but turns out it's closed today. No worries though, all paths lead to Villefranche's citadel. So we'll just loop around and head for the entrance from the other side. This 16th century fortress, the Citadelle Saint-Elme, still keeps watch over the bay. And best part is, it's completely free to visit. Built from 1554 onwards to stop future attacks from the sea, it later served as a military base. These days, it's home to the town hall, museums, exhibition spaces, and even an open-air theater that hosts movie nights in summer. And when you step outside, the old town stretches out below you. A maze of little secrets, quiet corners, and just as photogenic as Aix or Saint-Paul-de-Vence. The main street in Villefranche's old town runs parallel to the waterfront, and it's packed with little restaurants, cafes, and boutiques selling clothes, souvenirs, and local bits and pieces. One spot you have to check out is Rue Obscure, literally dark street, a hidden atmospheric passage between the shopping street and the seafront. It feels like stepping straight back into medieval Villefranche, all the way to the 14th century. From there, it's just a few more steps down to the waterfront. Down here, it's restaurant after restaurant, with La Mer Germaine being the most famous one. Grabbing lunch or dinner along the quay, absolute heaven. And now we're finally getting to one of the best bits of Villefranche. It's beach, Plage des Marinières. Unlike the pebbly beach in Nice, this one actually has kind of soft sand and calm, clear waters. It's a local favorite too. Lots of people from Nice head here for a relaxed day by the sea. Alright, let's quickly buy our train tickets for the ride back to Nice before we squeeze in one last little surprise. SNCF Connect app, going from Villefranche-sur-Mer to Nice-Ville, €3.50 per person, travel time about 7 to 8 minutes, and there's a train every 15 minutes or so during the day. The train station's just behind the beach, but before we go, let's walk over to the far end of the bay towards Cap Ferrat. That's where you'll find Villa-Côte. Back in the early 70s, the Rolling Stones moved into tax exile here in Villefranche, and Keith Richards rented the villa behind the big gates. They even recorded part of their legendary album Exile on Main Street right here. And yep, fans still swing by today, just to sneak a look through the gate. So we've seen plenty for one day. Time to head back to the beach, up to the station, and catch our train home. Before we sign off, here's a little recap of where we went today. Have fun putting your own spin on it when you give it a go. Now it's time for some high-end excitement. We're crossing into the world's second smallest country, Monaco. The Principality may be tiny, but don't let its size fool you. There's far more to it than casinos, super yachts, and Formula One. Here are our top 10 things to do in Monaco. Let's jump right into part 1. So to start your Monaco adventure, you have to head up to the Rocher, the historic rock. Make sure to arrive at the Palace Square a little before noon. It's 11:46 when we show up, and as you can see, we're definitely not the only ones here. Since we filmed these particular shots in February, we can only imagine the crowds in July. Everyone is jostling for the best spot because at exactly 11:55, it's showtime, the changing of the guards. It's a tradition that's been around for over a century. Seven minutes later, it's all over. But don't leave just yet. Now is the perfect time to head inside the palace. While the changing of the guards happens every single day, the state apartments inside are usually open to the public from late March to mid-October. Walking through the palace is like stepping back to 1215. You'll see the opulent throne room, and even the room where an English prince tragically passed away at just 28. Keep an eye out for the portraits. Everyone from Grace Kelly to the current princely couple is here. Some photos of Princess Charlene were even taken by Karl Lagerfeld. Pro tip, if you want to see Prince Albert in person, always look for black limousines passing through the main gate, or visit on National Day, November 19th, when the family appears on the balcony. Let's head deeper into the charming lanes of the Old Town for our number 2. Actually, before you leave the Palace Square, make sure to check out the views on both sides of the rock. To the east, you'll look right over the main harbor. It's the perfect spot to see Monaco's unique skyline. About 39,000 people live in this tiny country, making it the most densely populated nation in the world. To the west, you have a bird's-eye view of the newer harbor in the Fontvieille district. But if you walk straight ahead from the palace, you'll enter the heart of the Old Town. While there are plenty of souvenir shops, don't be fooled. There are also some really nice restaurants here where you can grab lunch at surprisingly reasonable prices. Right in the middle of these charming lanes stands the cathedral. This is where the Grimaldi family is buried, including most of the former sovereigns, and of course the parents of the current prince, Prince Renoir III, and the legendary Grace Kelly. Just across from the cathedral, take a stroll through the Saint-Martin Gardens. It's such a peaceful escape. Don't miss the panoramic viewpoint where the statue of Prince Albert I looks out over the Mediterranean. It's the perfect spot to lose yourself in the blue horizon. And right there, you can already see our number 3, the Oceanographic Museum. Perched right on the edge of the cliff, this museum is one of Monaco's most iconic landmarks. It was founded by Prince Albert I, the navigator prince, and once led by the legendary Jacques Cousteau. Inside, you're in for a treat. The aquariums here are among the oldest in the world. You can dive into the Mediterranean section or explore the vibrant life of the tropical seas. Our favorite might be the Shark Lagoon, but you'll also encounter the sweetest seahorses, colorful clownfish, and even some slightly spooky creatures that look like they're from another planet. But it's not just about looking at fish. The museum is a pioneer in marine conservation. They even have a turtle rehabilitation basin where injured sea turtles are cared for until they are strong enough to be released back into the wild. Before you leave, make sure to head up to the rooftop cafe for a drink with a view that is simply unbeatable. Now that we've explored the historic rock, it's time for a change of perspective. Here's our part 2, views and yachts. Perched on the western cliffs of Monaco, you'll find the exotic garden, and you're in for a real treat. We're taking you inside just days after its grand reopening. After being closed for 6 years for a complete renovation, it's finally back. This place is built right into the side of the cliffs, and honestly, the visit is worth it for the view alone. It's hands down probably the best panorama overlooking the entire Principality. You'll find hundreds of species of exotic plants here, with some really striking and unusual shapes that create a permanent spectacle of colors. It's a total botanical escape, but keep in mind, the unique setting means quite a few steep stairs and a bit of a workout. If you're visiting on a hot summer day, make sure to find a spot in the shade, or check out the brand new picnic area and playground to catch your breath. And take your time exploring all the different corners of the garden. But a little word of warning, beware of the cactus spines. I actually got pricked by one while filming, and trust me, they're pretty sharp. But it was worth it. The mix of that mild Mediterranean climate and this lush exotic greenery is pure magic. If you want even more, there's a prehistoric cave and a botanical center you can visit for a small extra fee. Now we're heading down to sea level, right into the pulsing heart of the Principality, Port Hercule. What we love most here is the peaceful coexistence of charming old fisher boats and modest sailboats right next to absolute mega yachts. It's a permanent spectacle on the water. There's always action, from crossing boats to crew members constantly polishing those shiny decks. The harbor is literally surrounded by Monaco's dense skyline, creating a breathtaking backdrop that people either absolutely love or find a bit overwhelming. But there's no denying the energy here. You'll even spot a gas station right in the middle of the water. If you're here in spring, like we were, you'll notice the blue grandstands being set up for the Formula 1 Grand Prix. On the eastern side, you can't miss the massive Yacht Club de Monaco, designed to look like a cruise ship. Sadly, it's members only, so unless you have a very well-connected friend, you'll have to enjoy the view from one of the many restaurant terraces surrounding the port. Don't feel like walking all the way around the harbor? Hop on the bateau bus. This little solo-powered shuttle boat whisks you across the water to the other side for just a few euros. It's the cheapest boat ride in Monaco and offers a great perspective from the water. And now, car lovers, pay attention. Tucked away right at the back of the harbor, just below the stadium pool, is the Prince's private car collection. It's essentially a stunning timeline of automotive history. You'll find over 100 vehicles on display, ranging from vintage classics to modern supercars. They even have the specially designed cars used for Monaco's royal weddings. Whether you're a gearhead or not, seeing this much history and horsepower in one spot is seriously impressive. Now, welcome to part 3, Glitz and Glamour. And what could be more iconic than the world's most famous street circuit, our number 7? If you're here in the spring, the whole city transforms. You'll see grandstands and barriers appearing everywhere as Monaco prepares for the Grand Prix. But don't worry, daily life and tourism carry on as usual, except on the actual race days, of course. Driving the track yourself, even in a normal car, is a must-do. We're stuck in traffic as we pass the start-finish line, but if you listen closely, you can almost hear the engines roaring. It's a short lap, just 3.3 kilometers, but it's incredibly demanding, and the drivers have to complete it 78 times. With over 80 gear changes per lap and walls just inches away, you can imagine the adrenaline. Actually, you can almost feel it even at city speeds. It's incredible how narrow these streets are, and seeing the city in this work-in-progress state really shows the massive scale of the event. For the ultimate atmosphere, you have to head to the Fairmont hairpin. This is the slowest corner in Formula One and a total paradise for car spotters. There's a permanent crowd here, cameras ready, just waiting for the next Lamborghini or Ferrari to roar past. Once you've survived the hairpin, let the track lead you straight back up to the epicenter of Monaco's wealth, our number 8, Casino Square. It's a total cliché, but let's be honest, what's more Monaco than the casino? So welcome to the heart of Monte Carlo. The iconic Place du Casino is currently undergoing some facial work, so the facade is behind covers. But thanks to our archive footage, you can see its full Belle Époque glory. The square is framed by pure legend, the magnificent Hôtel de Paris and the famous Café de Paris. Right opposite, take a moment to wander through the lush casino gardens. It's a beautifully manicured oasis that feels like a tropical escape right in the heart of the city. If you want to see where the magic happens, head inside the casino. Even the entrance hall is a masterclass in opulence. The casino was designed by Charles Garnier, the same mastermind behind the Paris Opera House, and you can feel that theatrical grandeur the moment you step in. Now, timing is key. From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. you can visit the casino, but if you want to try your luck at the gaming tables, you'll have to wait until 2 p.m. Either way, the entry fee is now 20 euros. Not a gambler? No problem. The Casino Square is also Monaco's number 1 spot for car spotting. Just grab a table at the Café de Paris, keep your eyes and ears open, and watch the world's most expensive supercars parade by. And if your credit card is feeling brave, head over to One Monte Carlo. This ultra-modern shopping district is right on the square and home to every major designer you can imagine, from Louis Vuitton to Cartier. Even if you're just window shopping, the architecture alone is worth the stroll. For a final chapter, we'll explore a side of Monaco that is constantly evolving. This is part 4, the modern waterfront. And you can't get more modern than Mare-Terra, our number 9, a brand new 6-hectare district that was literally reclaimed from the sea. When Monaco runs out of space, they simply build more land. Mare-Terra has completely transformed Monaco's coastline. It's perfectly tucked between the F1 tunnel and the Grimaldi Forum, and walking through here feels like stepping into a futuristic vision. You should spend some time just exploring the district. Whether you start from the Larvato side or the harbor, the paved paths offer endless photo ops from every angle. The architecture is breathtaking, especially the Renzo Piano building, which seems to float on pillars. With prices reaching 120,000 euros per square meter, it's home to the ultra-wealthy. And local legend says you might even run into Charles Leclerc in the elevator. But there's a soul to this high-tech project too. You'll find a rose quartz meditation room, the Blue Grotto explaining the marine conservation efforts, and even insect hotels hidden in the greenery. If you get hungry, there are now several upscale restaurants to choose from. It's a fascinating mix of billion-dollar luxury and smart engineering, a must-see even if you're just here for the views. And from here, it's just a short walk to our final highlight, number 10, Larvato Beach. What the Croisette is to Cannes, the promenade here is to Monaco. This entire waterfront was also redesigned by Renzo Piano's team, the same masterminds behind the iconic Lorenzo building we just saw in Mare-Terra. Right below the promenade lies Monaco's largest and most beloved beach. Since we filmed this in early spring, it's still wonderfully peaceful. But trust us, that changes quickly when summer hits. By the way, what looks like sand from a distance is actually very fine gravel, which is much softer on the feet than the big pebbles you'll find in Nice. Whenever we have a spare moment, we love to stop here for coffee, soak in the sun, and just watch the world go by. Monaco might be small, but as you've seen, it's a world of its own. For a final stop, we're heading all the way to the eastern edge of France, Menton. Often called the Pearl of the French Riviera, it's known for its lemons, colorful facades, and unmistakable Italian flair. Let's wrap up our journey with our personal top 10 things to do in Menton, from the iconic sights to hidden viewpoints, and even a walk across the Italian border. We've got a lot to cover, so let's start with our number 1, the most iconic spot in town, the famous yellow stairs. The Escalier Saint-Michel is more than just a staircase, it's the soul of the city. These vibrant yellow and ochre steps lead you straight from the beach into the heart of the old town. Now, fair warning, with architecture this stunning and colorful, you'll never be here alone. Whether it's for a family album or the perfect Instagram shot, someone is always working on their angles here. But here's a pro tip, get here early, ideally before 10 a.m. That's when there are less people and the sun hits the stairs perfectly. Later in the day, this entire side of the old town falls into the shade. As you climb, the view just gets better with every step. You're looking out over the city's most beautiful beach, which we'll show you later, and across the sparkling Mediterranean all the way to Italy. Once you reach the top, you're standing right in front of the beautiful Basilica of Saint-Michel-Archange. This Baroque masterpiece dates back to the 17th century, and its courtyard is a work of art made entirely of tiny pebbles, known as calade. The entire square feels just like a hidden opera set, and standing here under the bell tower, you really start to feel that unique Italian influence Menton is so famous for. As we've just mentioned, that iconic staircase is actually part of the old town, and we definitely need to explore this area further, because the entire historic hill is just stunning. You can't miss the Basilica's bell tower, looming over the maze of tall, narrow and brightly painted houses. Exploring Le Vieux Menton is quite easy. It's not very big, and better yet, the narrow alleys are completely car-free. A great way to start is at the bottom, in the lively pedestrian zone. It's packed with endless restaurants and even more souvenir shops. From there, just follow your instincts and wander further up into the labyrinth. Take your time to get lost in the narrow alleys and pay attention to all those charming little details. And if you want your photos to turn out as gorgeous as ours, definitely pick a sunny day. It really makes all the difference, and luckily that's easy because Menton enjoys over 300 days of sunshine every year. Now that you're already pretty much at the top of the hill, it's just a short walk further to the Cimetière du Vieux Château. It might sound a bit dark, but this is hands down the best viewpoint in the city and easily one of the most fascinating cemeteries in all of France. Built on the ruins of an old Grimaldi castle, this place tells the unique story of the Riviera. In the 19th century, aristocrats from all over Europe flocked to Menton's mild climate, hoping to cure their lung diseases. Many of them never left, which is why you'll see grand tombstones and monuments to Russian princes and British nobles here. Even the man who invented rugby, William Webb Ellis, found his final resting place right here. What makes it so special visually are the different terraces. As you walk between the cypress trees, each level opens up a new, breathtaking perspective over the sea. But for now, let's head back down to the water and catch some sea breeze at our number 4, Menton's best beach, Plage des Sablettes. This man-made bay is absolutely stunning. You've got a dreamy view looking over toward Italy, and the water is super calm and shallow thanks to the breakwaters, making it a total paradise for families. It looks like a sandy beach from afar, but it's actually a mix of fine gravel and sand, though for the Riviera, this definitely counts as sandy. If you walk around the bend, the sand becomes finer. When we visited in April, they were actually bringing in fresh loads to get everything ready for the upcoming summer season. This is also the spot where you can rent paddle boats if you're feeling active. Now, this is what the beach looks like in the height of summer. It gets busy, but for good reason. For that world-famous view of the colorful Old Town, the one you see on every Menton postcard and fridge magnet, just head out onto the jetty between the beach and the harbor. Trust us, it's worth it. The promenade down here at beach level is basically Menton's living room. This entire area was completely transformed just a few years ago, turning the old waterfront into this stunning modern walkway. Take your time to stroll past the historic stone arches, the voûtes. They used to be warehouses for fish and trade goods, but today they house trendy cafes and restaurants. You'll also find plenty of spots to just sit back, relax, and people watch. And of course, you can't miss the giant Menton sign, yet another absolute must-stop for a photo. Next up is our number 5, the Marché des Halles, a feast for your eyes and your stomach. This impressive building at the foot of the Old Town dates back to 1898, and you can see that colorful Belle Époque style in every brick. If you happen to visit on a Saturday, you'll find a bustling outdoor market right in front of the hall, filled with clothing, hats, and those typical French straw bags. Inside, it's a delicious mix of French and Italian flavors. The market runs every morning except Mondays, and it's far from being just a tourist spot. This is where the locals, the Mentonnais, buy their fresh fish, great cheese, and the vegetables. And of course, you'll find the famous Menton lemons here, which we'll talk about in more detail in just a bit. Anya and I can never walk past a stall selling tarte au citron without grabbing a slice. It's loud, it smells fantastic, and it's the perfect place for a quick pit stop at one of the Italian-style cafes. A little caffeine kick is a must, even if we manage to resist the sweet treats this one time. Little tip for you, remember to get here before noon, as that's when the locals finish their shopping and the stalls slowly start to close for the day. Fancy a little art and culture? Then our number 6 is for you. Not far from the market hall, you'll find the Jean Cocteau Museum, housed in a rugged 17th century fortress known as Le Bastion, right at the edge of the harbor wall. Before we take you inside, let's have a quick look at the old harbor. Unlike the flashy mega yachts in Monaco, you'll find mostly charming small boats and traditional fishing vessels here. Now let's head into the Bastion. Jean Cocteau himself chose this old fortress to be his museum. He was a true French genius, a poet, illustrator, painter, and filmmaker who fell in love with Menton and spent a lot of time here. His style is beautifully minimalistic, often featuring flowing lines, expressive faces, and ocean themes. This little museum is an absolute gem. Cocteau's work and personal letters look stunning against the rustic stone walls of the fortress. They actually rotate the exhibition every 6 months. We found it fascinating to explore his connections with other icons of his time, like Ingrid Piaf or the composer Igor Stravinsky. One quick note, you'll definitely come across this striking modern building nearby. That was also part of the museum, but due to flood damage, it's currently closed to the public. For our number 7, we're taking you to one of Menton's many stunning botanical gardens, the Jardin Botanique du Val-Ramée. It's an easy walk from the city center if you don't mind a few extra steps. Menton is famous for its gardens thanks to a unique microclimate that stays warm all year round. Tucked away behind the high peaks of the Maritime Alps, the city is perfectly shielded from cold northern winds. It's almost subtropical here, ideal for plants that wouldn't stand a chance anywhere else in France. So this is Val-Ramée, but before we start our jungle expedition, we're finding a quiet spot to finally enjoy that tarte au citron we picked up at the market earlier. Once you walk away from the house, you'll quickly feel like you've stepped into the tropics. There are massive palm trees everywhere, some heavy with dates. And unlike purely decorative gardens, Val-Ramée is filled with things you can actually eat or use. Spices, cocoa, coffee, sugarcane, and of course, endless varieties of citrus fruit. The garden is home to an exceptional range of plants, with 1,800 subtropical, tropical, and Mediterranean species, some of them incredibly rare. And our favorite part? every now and then the deep blue sea peeks through the lush, exotic greenery. But why are there so many grand gardens in Menton? It's largely due to the British influence in the 19th century. As we mentioned earlier, many wealthy Brits settled here and brought a massive passion for botany and exotic plants from their colonies, practically competing to see who could create the most exotic paradise. You can't visit the lemon capital of France without seeing where the magic happens. So for our number 8, we're taking a shuttle into the hills to La Ferme des Citrons. Spanning 3 hectares of terraced land, this farm is the largest producer in town. But what makes Menton's lemons so special? Again, it's all about the microclimate. Cradled by the mountains, the fruit grows with more natural sugar and essential oils, giving the Citron de Menton its famous, sweeter and more aromatic flavor. During a tour with our guide Jessica, you'll learn that they even grow avocados here, making them the largest producer in all of France. Every visit finishes with a fantastic picnic on the terrace, tasting local specialties like barbacoa, and of course their homemade limoncello. If you want to take a piece of Menton home, their boutique is packed with lemony treats. Our number 9 is a true bucket list event, the famous Fête du Citron. If you're visiting in February, get ready for a sea of yellow and orange, as this 2-week celebration transforms Menton into a citrus wonderland. This tradition dates back to 1934, and today it draws over 200,000 visitors. You have to see the Biovès garden, where massive sculptures are crafted entirely from lemons and oranges. Every year has a different motto. We absolutely love the Olympic-themed installations. The heart of the festival, though, is the Golden Fruit Parade along the sea. It's a wild mix of vibrant floats, brass bands, and street dancers. And if you're wondering, yes, these fruits are imported for the event, while the precious local Menton lemons are saved for eating. And finally, how cool is this? For our number 10, we're simply walking to Italy. It's a fun, easy 30-minute stroll along the sea from Menton's old town, right across the border into Ventimiglia. Once you cross over, you're immediately rewarded with a hidden gem, the Balzi Rossi Prehistoric Museum. It's a tiny but world-class archaeological site where you can explore a cave once inhabited by the earliest modern humans in Europe. You'll see incredible artifacts dating back 40,000 years, including an amazing shell headdress and a 25,000-year-old triple burial site. It's a mind-blowing step back in time. If you have a car, head 1 level up from the coast road and drive just 3 kilometers further to the Hanbury Gardens. Founded in 1867 by Sir Thomas Hanbury, this is one of Europe's most important botanical gardens. Hanbury was a wealthy English merchant who was so fascinated by the local flora that he bought an entire cape to grow plants from all over the world. The stunning Villa Hanbury sits right at the heart of the estate, surrounded by 18 hectares of lush terraces. The entire setting of this place is spectacular, to be honest, dropping steeply all the way down to the Mediterranean. Walking through different climate zones with a deep blue sea always in sight is just breathtaking, especially in spring. And that's our journey along the heart of the French Riviera. If you enjoyed the video, we'd really appreciate a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more local tips and inspiration from the Côte d'Azur. Thanks for coming along, and as we always say down here, profitez!